Hidden beneath the surface, underground vaults are some of the most secure and mysterious places on Earth. From safeguarding priceless treasures and historical artifacts to holding secrets we may never truly uncover, join me for today's video where counting down 15 of the most secret underground vaults. Let's start with number 15, the New York Federal Gold Vault. Deep beneath the streets of Manhattan's financial district lies the New York Federal Reserve Gold Vault, one of the most secure and storied repositories of wealth in the world. Built into the bedrock of the island, the vault houses the largest known accumulation of gold in human history. Over 7,000 tons of gold, representing approximately 5% of all the gold ever mined, are stored here, making it a center of global finance and security. The vault was completed in 1924, a time when the gold standard dominated international finance, and nations sought secure locations to safeguard their reserves. Situated 80 feet below street level, the vault's construction into solid bedrock ensured only 27.4 pounds and is uniquely identifiable due to slight variations in weight, purity, and markings. To accommodate its clientele, the vault is divided into 122 compartments, each allocated to a specific nation or institution. Smaller account holders have access to a shared library vault. Access to this place is strictly controlled. The only entry point is a cylindrical steel structure with a pie-shaped opening. The cylinder rotates to align with the entry hallway, allowing access to the vault only when properly configured. Armed guards and state-of-the-art electronic systems monitor every aspect of the facility, and access is granted only to authorized staff. When one nation needs to transfer gold to another, no planes or ships are required. Instead, bars are physically moved from one compartment to another within the vault. For each bar transferred, the Fed charges a modest handling fee of $2. Geez, that's cheaper than an ATM fee, making it a convenient and secure solution for global finance transactions. Number 14, Gold Vault at Fort Knox, and a bank vault in Hiroshima that survived the atomic bombing. The vault was designed specifically to protect the charters of freedom during the early years of the Cold War, a period marked by heightened fears of nuclear attacks. Weighing 55 tons, the Mosler Vault functioned as more than a repository. It was an active mechanism that used a 20-foot scissor jack to raise and lower the documents. By day, the documents were displayed for public viewing under bulletproof glass, but at night, or at the push of a button in an emergency, they descended into the safety of the vault. In the early 2000s, as part of a $110 million renovation of the National Archives building, the Mosler Vault was replaced with a modern design created by Diebold. The primary purpose of the vault is to ensure the long-term preservation and security of the Charters of Freedom. These documents are stored in airtight encasements filled with an inert argon gas to prevent any decay. The vault itself, of course, is not open to the public, but visitors to the National Archives can view the Charters of Freedom during Number 3, the Swiss Fort Knox. Beneath the granite of the Swiss Alps lies a fortress of the digital age, the Swiss Fort Knox. These underground data centers built into former military bunkers are among the most secure storage facilities in the world. Located near the Bernese Alps, these vaults serve a singular purpose: to safeguard the most sensitive and valuable data imaginable. The origins of Swiss Fort Knox trace back to the 1990s when Swiss entrepreneurs Christoph Oschwald and Hans-Peter Brumann saw the potential to transform Cold War-era military bunkers into these cutting-edge data centers. They were repurposed in 1994 with a focus on creating an impregnable haven for digital information. These facilities became Swiss Fort Knox 1 and 2, operated by Mount 10 and SIAG Secure Info Store Limited. Access to this place is extraordinarily restricted. Layers of security begin with biometric facial recognition scans, as much a marketing strategy as a reality. Nevertheless, the isolation and fortification of the Swiss Fort Knox significantly mitigate any risks. To date, there have been no recorded breaches or instances of any criminal misuse, a fact that the operators take pride in maintaining. Number 12, the Denver International Airport Tunnels. The Denver International Airport opened in 1995 is the largest airport in the U.S. by total land area, sprawling over 33,000 acres. While it's known for its striking architecture and the infamous Lucifer horse sculpture, a network of underground tunnels beneath the airport has captured public fascination for decades. The airport's tunnels have become the focus of an array of conspiracy theories. The airport's unusually high construction costs, $4.8 billion, nearly $2 billion over budget, have fueled speculation that something more elaborate lies beneath the surface. Some theorists claim that the tunnels connect to underground bunkers intended for use by secret societies like the Freemasons. Though the tunnels are strictly off-limits to the public, there have been no recorded break-ins or credible attempts to penetrate the area. Rumors persist about unauthorized explorations, from individuals curious about the time capsule or those determined to uncover any hidden truth. The airports maintain that the tunnels and their contents are purely operational and that any theories to the contrary are baseless. One of the strangest myths involved a claim that the Braille inscription on the dedication capstone functions as a keypad to unlock the time capsule. While airport officials have dismissed this as absurd, the idea persists, with some even speculating that Freemasons have attempted to access the capsule using their membership cards. Number 11. Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. The Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion, located in the town of Oxum in northern Ethiopia, is a site surrounded by centuries of legend and religious tradition. The church is famously associated with one of the most enduring stories in religious history, first son of the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon of Jerusalem. The Ark is said to have been placed in this church, and there it remains to this day, hidden away in a special chamber. However, no one has seen the Ark in modern times, as it's kept under the watchful eye of a single guardian monk, who's the only person allowed to view it. This monk is chosen by the previous guardian before their death, and once appointed, the guardian must remain in the chapel for life. The monk is forbidden from leaving the building, and his sole purpose is to guard the Ark. Even the leader of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is not allowed to see it. Despite secrecy surrounding the Ark's location, though, the church still attracts thousands of pilgrims each year who come to view the chapel from a distance, separated by a red fence. Women, however, are not permitted to enter the old church, with the exception of the Virgin Mary, who is symbolically considered to represent the Ark itself. In 1941, a British officer named Edward Ullendorf was serving in Ethiopia at the time and claimed to have inspected the town with the growing university district. The 19 arches of the bridge housed various chambers, used primarily by shops and businesses that catered to passers-by. Cobblers, smelters, and merchants set up shop in the damp underground spaces, storing goods and working in what was then a busy commercial hub. Brothels, illegal gambling dens, and unlicensed distilleries took over the space, hidden from view. These vaults, with their damp walls and poor lighting, became a haven for the city's poorest residents, who crammed into the tight spaces in unsanitary conditions. Estimates suggest that there were around 120 vaults, each capable of holding up to 30 people. This means at one point, the vaults could have housed between 2,000 to 3,000 people, many of whom lived in appalling conditions. By the mid-19th century, though, the vaults had become so unsanitary that they were sealed off, and the people living there were displaced. The vaults were forgotten about for nearly a century, their existence known only by a few. It wasn't until the 1980s, when construction work was underway in the area, that the underground network was rediscovered. 9. The Catacombs of Petrovaradin Fortress. Beneath the Petrovaradin Fortress, a labyrinth of underground tunnels, often called the Catacombs, stretches for about 10 miles. Situated on the right bank of the Danube River in Serbia, the fortress has long been a strategic location, earning the nickname Gibraltar of the Danube. Construction began in 1692, and it played a significant role in military history, particularly during times of conflict with the Ottoman Empire and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. These underground galleries were originally built as military storage spaces and escape routes. Over time, they expanded into a complex system with multiple levels, designed to support the fortress's defense. Today, they create a network of passageways that run under the fortress, extending across 4 levels, with each floor marked by a different color. The 4th level, known as the Black Level, holds a peculiar mystery, with stories of royal associations and hidden treasures. The tunnels are home to numerous symbols, including the Maltese, ensuring both your safety and insight into the history of the tunnels. The catacombs are not open to casual visitors, and any attempt to enter without proper guidance is highly discouraged. No reports of break-ins or unauthorized access have been noted recently, as the tunnels are closely guarded. However, the sense of mystery surrounding these spaces remains, fueled by tales of treasure and the cryptic markings on the walls. Number 8. The Siloam Tunnel. The Siloam Tunnel, also known as Hezekiah's Tunnel, is an ancient water conduit carved beneath the city of David in Jerusalem, an area that's now part of the Palestinian neighborhood of Silwan. Believed to have been constructed during the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah in the late 8th century and early 7th centuries BC, the tunnel was designed to secure a water supply for the city during an impending siege by the Assyrians. The tunnel was not only a feat of engineering, but also a strategic move to ensure the city's survival during times of warfare. The construction of the tunnel was remarkable for its time, particularly because the tunnel was carved to the narrow, low passageways. The tunnel runs for about 1,750 feet and is often flooded, requiring visitors to wade through water. Interestingly, there are legends that surround the tunnel, with some suggesting that it leads to hidden chambers beneath the Temple Mount, potentially containing the Ark of the Covenant. However, no evidence has been found to support those claims. While break-ins or unauthorized explorations are not frequently reported, the tunnel is part of an archaeological site with significant religious and historical importance, and as such, access to certain areas may be restricted. Moving on to number 7, the Grimes Point Cave. Hidden Cave, located near Fallon, Nevada, is an underground site that holds a unique connection to the past. This cave, which dates back around 3,500 years, was used by Native American tribes as a storage space, not for shelter, but as a place to keep tools, fishing gear, spears, and baskets. The cave's location in what was once a marshland area provided a safe haven for those items as nomadic tribes passed through the region by early Native Americans between 1800 BC and 1500 BC. The cave was never intended to be a living space. Its cramped, dark interior was unsuitable for any habitation. Instead, it served as a storage vault. The artifacts hidden in the cave paint a vivid picture of the daily lives of these ancient people. Items such as sewn tools, fishing hooks, and animal bones offer insights into their resourcefulness and their way of life. The cache of items was so extensive that it became a major archaeological site, drawing the attention of universities, museums, and the Fallon Paiute Shoshone tribe. These groups work together to catalog and preserve the findings. Today, Hidden Cave is protected by the Bureau of Land Management and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, a designation it received in 1972. Although it's no longer an active excavation site, the cave does remain accessible for research and educational purposes. Visitors can learn about the site's history and the painstaking work involved in uncovering its secrets. Number 6. The Tunguska Vault, technology or remnants of a long-lost civilization. The Tunguska explosion, which flattened an area of forest the size of a small city, was the largest impact event in recorded history. The official explanation, supported by most scientists, is that a stony asteroid roughly 200 feet in diameter exploded above the Siberian taiga at an altitude of 6 miles. This created a shockwave that leveled over 80 million trees but left no crater. In the wake of the explosion, local reports describe strange electromagnetic anomalies, and for decades, the region has been a source of intrigue for UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists. Some of these theorists argue that the Tunguska event wasn't simply an explosion caused by a space rock, but rather a result of some sort of alien intervention, possibly from a spacecraft that exploded in the atmosphere. There are also rumors about a hidden vault beneath the Tunguska site. The idea is that this vault, buried deep within the earth, could contain evidence of that alien technology, or even remnants of an ancient advanced civilization. The Tunguska Vault theory was given to contain objects capable of manipulating electromagnetic fields, or possibly even technology that could have altered the course of history had it been discovered in the early 20th century. Some theorists go so far as to suggest that the vault might hold the key to understanding space travel or even time manipulation. The sheer isolation of that region, with its dense forest and harsh terrain, could easily hide such a vault from the prying eyes of the public. Number 5. The Caves of Nottingham. Nottingham's underground network of caves, tunnels, and vaults is a fascinating layered history that stretches back over 1,000 years. Beneath the modern city lies a labyrinth of over 800 caves and passages carved into sandstone, with new discoveries happening regularly. The city's name, believed to have come from the ancient British word Tuguokobog, which translates to place of caves, still reflects its hidden subterranean nature. The caves serve many purposes, each telling a different chapter of Nottingham's past. Some were used as workspaces, others medieval tannery found beneath a shopping. Some homeowners have even discovered caves within their own property, a reality made possible by the Nottingham Cave Survey. This project, led by Nottingham University, continues to digitally map the intricate system of tunnels, revealing unexpected passageways and connecting voids beneath the streets. In January 2017, students living near Mansfield Road stumbled upon a new cave system beneath their cellar, illustrating how much remains unknown even today. Among the best-known caves is Broadmarsh Caves, which are open to the public under the name of City of Caves. Located beneath the Broadmarsh Center, a 1970s brutalist shopping mall set for redevelopment, this section of the cave system allows visitors to explore medieval tanneries, remnants of slums, and one of the city's air raid shelters. Another popular cave, Mortimer's Hole, located beneath Nottingham Castle, is a secret passageway that gained notoriety when Sir Roger Mortimer, lover of Queen Isabella, was captured by King Edward II's soldiers in 1330. Mortimer was dragged from the cave, and ultimately there have been no major break-ins or incidents involving the caves in recent times. Their hidden nature means that they could easily harbor secrets yet to be uncovered. Number 4. Dulce Base. For decades, the small town of Dulce, New Mexico has been at the center of one of the most intriguing and mysterious conspiracy theories: the existence of an underground military base that hosts extraterrestrial life forms. Well, despite the lack of concrete evidence, stories surrounding the so-called Dulce Base continue to captivate imaginations and theorists. This 7-story underground facility is said to be buried beneath Archuleta Mesa, straddling the border between New Mexico and Colorado, and is believed to be a joint operation between the U.S. government and alien species. The origins of the base trace back to the late 1970s, starting with a New Mexico state trooper named Gabriel Valdez. Valdez reported seeing strange aircraft and discovered mutilated cattle in the area. What made these discoveries even more peculiar were the remnants of gas masks found nearby, which the first few floors of the base supposedly housed standard military operations, surveillance, and human experimentation. But as one descends deeper into the base, the story becomes even more sinister. The 5th floor is said to be where different species of aliens, including greys and reptilians, are housed. The 6th floor, known as Nightmare Hall, is purportedly the most horrifying of all, with stories of test subjects whose screams echo through the halls. Finally, the 7th floor is the most secretive, where human-alien hybrids and advanced technology are allegedly developed. Local residents in Dulce have added to the mystique of the town by reporting sightings of UFOs, strange lights, and other unexplained phenomena. The small town, with fewer than 3,000 residents, has embraced its place in UFO lore, hosting the annual Dulce Base UFO Conference, which draws enthusiasts from all over the world. The truth about the underground vaults, though, of the Dulce Base is that, frankly, we'll never know the truth. Number 3. The LA Underground Tunnels. The underground tunnels of Los Angeles are a 1901 when workers began digging beneath Bunker Hill and Hill Street areas to help alleviate the city's growing traffic. The Pacific Electric Red Car system soon followed suit, building its own network of underground passageways to transport streetcars throughout the city. At the same time, smaller passageways were constructed to connect prominent buildings like the Hotel Roslyn, giving the city a hidden infrastructure that few knew about. By the early 1920s, however, many of the tunnels were abandoned as the growing city shifted to the automobile-based transport. But as the city's needs changed, the tunnels didn't disappear. Instead, they took on a new life when Prohibition came into play. While much of the county went dry, Los Angeles became a haven for those seeking a drink. With corrupt city officials turning a blind eye, 11 miles of underground service tunnels were transformed into the secret backbone of speakeasies. As well as serving as the base for speakeasies, these tunnels were also utilized for more clandestine activities. Stories abound of how the tunnels were used by the police to transport. Not entirely possible to explore these forgotten corridors. Hidden behind the Hall of Records on Temple Street is an elevator that takes you down into a subterranean world that few people ever get to see. Once inside, visitors are confronted with the remains of an underground world that seems to have forgotten. Rusted machinery, old street art, and iron gates blocking off the more dangerous sections of the tunnels. Number 2. The Underground World Home. The Queen's World Home, officially known as the Underground World Home, is a relic of Cold War anxiety and 1960s futurism, buried beneath the soil of Flushing Meadows Corona Park in Queens. It is a hyper-luxurious 12,000-square-foot subterranean residence that was designed to be a sanctuary from nuclear warfare. The story of it begins during a time when the world was held hostage by the threat of nuclear annihilation. The Cuban Missile Crisis of the early 1960s has made the potential for nuclear war a very real possibility, and the United States government, along with private citizens, took steel beams capable of bearing the weight of 2 million pounds of soil above, and it was designed to remain secure and comfortable even in the event of a nuclear attack. Inside, the 6,000-square-foot home was anything but austere. The house featured 10 rooms, including a living room with a wood-burning fireplace, a television set, and a spacious kitchen and dining area. The home even included a snorkel-like system for air conditioning and advanced air filtration systems, and a temperature control that allowed residents to maintain a comfortable climate. Though the underground world home offered a glimpse into a futuristic and secure way of living, it really never truly caught on. Its price tag of $80,000, equivalent to nearly $500,000 today, was a major deterrent. Despite its innovative features and the promise of security, no homes were ever sold, and the project quickly faded into obscurity. While the World's Fair exhibit was dismantled in 1966, the fate of the home itself remains unclear. Some believe that the home shell still exists under the park, Scotia in Canada. This enigmatic feature has been the focus of treasure hunters for over 200 years, yet no one has ever recovered anything of any value. The story began in 1795 when a teenager named Daniel McGinnis discovered a depression in the ground, which he believed might be the site of something buried. As he and his friends dug into the earth, they encountered layers of wooden planks placed every 10 feet, leading them to believe the pit was man-made. Theories about what lie beneath the pit vary wildly. Some believe it contains pirate treasure, possibly linked to notorious figures like Captain Kidd. Others think the lost jewels of Marie Antoinette could be buried there. Some more outlandish theories suggest that the pit might hold evidence of Francis Bacon's authorship of Shakespeare's plays, or even the Ark of the Covenant. However, despite numerous theories, the pit has yet to yield anything substantial. This excavation history is filled with more questions than answers. Over the years, treasure hunters have uncovered a variety of objects, but most have been attributed to the work of past explorers rather than to any hidden treasure. For example, a stone and its authenticity is still debated. The hunt for treasure on Oak Island, though, has sparked numerous theories and even attracted famous personalities like Errol Flynn, John Wayne, and Franklin Roosevelt, all of whom had their own ideas about what might be buried there. In 2010, the Oak Island Act was passed, halting commercial treasure hunting. However, in 2011, a new law, the Oak Island Treasure Act, was introduced, allowing private individuals to continue the search with permission from the government. The pit is not open to the public, and while many visitors flock to Oak Island to catch a glimpse of the site, access is highly restricted. No significant break-ins or unauthorized excavations have been reported, though secrecy surrounding the site combined with its long history of treasure hunting keeps people guessing. So in the end, the Oak Island Money Pit remains one of the world's greatest mysteries, with no definitive answers and a history that continues to fuel speculation. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Thank you to our channel members.